Hi friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 31st Flosstube video. If you are new here, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me today. This is a channel that is mostly about cross stitch. However, if I have worked on any of my other hobbies, I do like to share them here as well. And I typically do that right at the beginning of my videos to kind of get them out of the way. Today I really mostly just have cross stitch and a little bit of sewing, but those are just project bags. So I think that's fine. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you all more than you know. So today is Sunday, June 19th, and it is a beautiful weekend here in Maryland. On Friday, it was like 94 degrees, and then yesterday it was 74 degrees, and it's in the 70s again today, which is actually how I'm able to record up here in my craft room. Normally, by this time of year, it is miserably hot in here during the day, so I'm taking advantage of this nice weather, and I set up in here, which may prove to have been a mistake. I do have an awful lot to share with you guys today. I've got a pile. The pile is like, this is part of it. And I don't have my normally I've got like 2 dining room chairs on each side of me, so I've got plenty of places to put things, but today we just have 1 chair, so we'll see how it goes. We have been really busy here lately. We have survived the end of school. So Quentin is done with 11th grade and is officially a senior, which is crazy. He also just finished up the last of his classroom instructional driving school, and he will be scheduling his drive time with the instructor here shortly, and then we will have to take him out and continue teaching him how to drive. And by we, I mean Aaron and his dad, probably not me, because my mother's heart can't take it. So that's, big changes happening there. A lot of his friends are getting their licenses. His girlfriend just got her license, and it's just crazy. They're just babies. It's so crazy. I also survived the end of the school year. If you've been with me for a while, you'll know that back in January I took a job with our local school system, and I don't think I was prepared mentally or emotionally for the end of the school year. It was a lot of work, but now it's over, so that's good, and we will be moving into our summer schedule here starting tomorrow. We'll go to 4 10-hour days, and we'll be off on Fridays, so I'm looking forward to that for the summer for sure. Aaron is good. He is downstairs with the dog. As always, if she starts barking, because it's a beautiful day and I'm sure there's going to be people out, I will do my best to pause the video. Also, normally the cats are in here hanging out, sleeping in the sunshine. There's a window here and a window right there too, so they get plenty of light. And I kicked them out for this video so they weren't like knocking everything over. So if you see the door start to open, it's probably not a ghost, it's probably cats, but who knows. Okay, I do have some notes for today because I've worked on a lot of things. So if you see me looking down, that's what I am doing. Also, I want to start off by doing a couple of shoutouts. I don't normally ever do that. I typically watch Flosstube alphabetically, so I'm rarely ever caught up with anybody. But through my stitching meetups that we've been doing through the Cross Stitchers of Maryland Facebook group, I have met 2 really wonderful Maryland Flosstubers. One is Hannah, her channel is Hannah Dowling, and the other is Heather, and she's the Charm City Stitcher, and they are both lovely human beings, and I've had a great time stitching with them. I stitched with them at the Panera yesterday, and they just crack me up, and they are super nice. So hi ladies, and I suggest everybody go and check them out. Another stitcher that I have been watching is another Baltimore based stitcher, which is Kaylee's Cross Stitch. Kaylee Cross Stitch. I found her through D20's Cursed Anchor Sale. She was like the next person that I sent to, so I've been watching her and enjoying her as well. I know I'm not great about putting anything down in the description box, but if I can work it out, I will put their names down there so you can check them out if you would like to as well. So yeah, that's been really great. It's been really fun. stitching with people, and I've really enjoyed that a lot. Okay, so what do I have to share with you today? I have technically 2 FFOs, fully finished objects, but one I don't have with me. One was a gift, and that's been sent off, so I will insert a picture when I share those. Like I said, I've been making some project bags. I think I've got 15 different projects to show you today, which seems outrageous to me. I've worked on a lot of stuff. And then I have my giveaway winner, and then I have what came in the mail. I have the window open here, so it sounds like somebody might be cutting their grass. I hope that's not too loud. Okay, let's get started. So first, my fully finished objects. In my last video, I showed that I had finished two projects, and I had gotten like chunky little frames for them. The first was little sunflowers that came out of like a magnet's leaflet, and I finished that and framed that, and I will put a picture of that here. And that went to live with its new owner. And the other one was I think it was called Donkey Garden Mama Witch X Stitch. If I'm wrong, I'll have it on here somewhere. And I got that in its frame. I don't think these were in the frame last time. Look how cute. Ah! I love it. Love it, love it. So I still need Erin to put a new hanger that's going to hang downstairs in the dining room. Okay, so those were my fully finished objects, and then like I said, I've been doing some sewing. I've made some more project bags. I've got a couple on top that don't have anything in them, and other ones are going to be kind of scattered through. First, I saw this fabric at Joann's, and I just about fell over. They had Grateful Dead fabric. They had this print and another one, a Steal Your Face print. I haven't made anything with that one yet. I can't decide what I want to do with it. But I found this one, and I had enough to make 2, so I sent one off to another stitchy friend that also likes the Dead. I love this so much. A little story. When I was in my 20s, like that's all I did was go and I saw music, and if I wasn't working or if I wasn't with Quentin, that was all I was doing. And then a couple years ago, I was going through some really hard like mental health stuff, and I just like stopped listening to music altogether. And I would listen to books or like podcasts or NPR or whatever, but never, I just like stopped. And recently I've been listening to music again, and that's been really nice. I feel a little bit more like myself, which is good, especially like around this time of year is really tough, and so being able to turn to music and not feel terrible again, that's been really great. So sidebar, either way, I made myself this Grateful Dead bag, and I love it. And then also in the Grateful Dead vein, I made this. This was a t-shirt that I had, and I had wanted this t-shirt for so long. This company, The Moon Life, makes it. Lovely View of Heaven is from the Dead. There's a line from the Dead song, Standing on the Moon. And I got it, and it fit okay. It was a little tight, and then I got a little stain on it, and I was just really upset, and it made me sad. And so I turned it into this project bag, which is a little wonky. It wasn't super easy. I've never tried to make anything out of a t-shirt before, but very cool. I like that a lot too. And here is another little vinyl front one. We're gonna get a little bit of glare today because, again, of the windows. And this was actually scrapped from another bag that I made that's in the stack here. All right, so let's get into what I have been working on. Okay, so you know that, or if you've watched my videos before, you know that I am working on a couple different monthly series, and the first one that I worked on was the monthly Quakers from the Heart needle art by Wendy, and I stitched the April Quaker. It looks like this. These patterns call for 3 colors, so I've just been picking colors out of my stash. This is this pretty nautical bag. You see I've got May in here. I haven't picked colors for May yet. I'm stitching all of these on one big piece of 22 count I guess Ada or whatever. And then once I'm done, I'm going to cut them out and make them into flat folds. These were the 3 colors that I used for April. And so you can see that okay. There's my finish. So I've got January, February, March, and April. I really like how the colors in this one turned out. I've just, because I'm working on 3 different monthly stitches series, I just rotate. So as I finish one, I go to one of the next ones, and one of the next ones, and one of the next ones. So there we go. There's April. Next up, I worked on my monthly moon from Top Knot Stitcher shop. I don't have a cover photo of this one, but this is part 3, and I made this was the first bag I made with that fabric, and it's just yellow inside to match the zipper. And I'm stitching these in the called for DMCs on a piece of 32 count charcoal Lugana, I think. And I stitched the flower moon, which is this one right here. So got the wolf moon, the snow moon, the worm moon, which still is my favorite, the pink moon, and the flower moon, which is a close second favorite. I like that one a lot. And then next up is the strawberry moon. These are looking so good. I really, really like them a lot. They're very enjoyable. The other monthly moon series that I am working on is from the Little Stitcher, and she's doing the 13 Moons Mystery Stitch Along. This paper has seen better days. This is what I use for my lunchtime stitching. So they get a little beat up sometimes in the car. And this one lives in this bag that I made. I'm stitching them all on a piece of 32 count Twilight Blue linen. And I can't remember if I had finished, I can't remember where I was. If I had finished January, April's moon last time, I'm not sure. And then I just started on May's. She also did the flower moon. So here are the first 3. Yeah, that's where I am. So I'm currently working on that moon. All right. Last time I showed you that I had borrowed a pattern from, it's a Facebook group. It's like Out of Print Unicorn something group, and a very, very nice lady named Bobby had borrowed a Blackbird from me, and I borrowed one from her, and the one that I borrowed was the Pumpkin Blossom needle case. That's what the front looks like. And then you stitch this piece here and this piece here. I'm stitching this for a smalls exchange. So in this cute little gnome bag. I used some call for colors, and some of them I picked out of just what I had on hand. Some of the colors had changed, like the birds. It was called for cherry bark, but the cherry bark I had is really red, so I just substituted in this different purple. I stitched it on a piece of 28 count doubloon. I pictured this plus, and so I finished the stitching, and this is how they tell you to like place it on the fabric. So there's the front, and that's the part that goes for your needles, and then this makes the little pocket. So I finished this once and put the beads and all that good stuff on it. And then I started it again for myself. So this one I will finish into the needlebook for the exchange. And the second one I'm doing for myself. So I just picked, I didn't have another piece of 28 count that was big enough to stitch it all in one piece. So I just found some scraps and like appropriate size scraps and I'm using those. So I stitched that one again. And I'm currently working on the alphabet pocket there. And then I've got this gray that I'm going to use for the outside of the needlebook. So that's been fun. I've just been kind of picking away at the second time. It's a pretty fast stitch. It's just, you know, once you've already done it once, it can be a little hard. Next thing that I put out, and I had this upstairs for my like evening stitch. So I stitched on my monthly stuff for lunch, and then in the evening, usually from about 7 to 9, I will stitch on kind of whatever I'm focusing on, and then from about 9 to around 10 o'clock is I'll come upstairs and I'll work on my evening. I'm avoiding going to bed stitch. So I pulled this one out. I was not very far on this. I was frustrated with this project. I had thought about UFOing it, and I'm glad that I didn't because I was able to actually make some progress on it. And that is the Moon Phase Bell Pull by the Tiny Modernist. This is beautiful. And I was just really having a hard time because I'm doing it as the bell pull, and you need very small margins to do it that way. And like and so that's how I placed it on the fabric. But because of that, I couldn't get like my hoop to sit right, and it was hard to do in hand because of the fabric. So I finally got myself a freaking 6-inch Q-snap, and then I was able to stitch on it just fine. I wish I had done this before. I can't believe it took me that long. Anyways, I'm stitching it with the color 4 DNC, which always looks like this for this project. I should really get that together. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count Timberwolf by Seraphim. And here's where I got to. So before I had the top border, I've got questionable pictures of some of these things, like the before pictures, hopefully. Last night when I ironed all of this stuff and was getting it set up, I took pictures of all of them. That way I could try to have the before pictures because I will not remember when I'm stitching. But I had some of the top border, and I had this done and this first phase here, but definitely it was wrong and I had to rip most of it out. So I ripped all of that out. I restitched it. I brought the borders down. I did all the stars in the sky, and I added in this one too. So it'll take up like all the way down, I think. So, but I think that's turning out really, really, really pretty. And it got me really motivated to work on it again, which is good because that had definitely been languishing for quite some time. All right, after I finished the Pumpkin Blossom needlebook, I pulled out Blackbird Sky by Diplomatic Needle. This is my sad working copy. Again, a little crunched up. The original is not mine. The original that I have, I borrowed from a very dear friend. So I definitely want to, get working on this. I was like stalled because I was having a really hard time choosing the colors for this next block, and I feel like getting over that hump and picking those colors, which will help me with the rest of the colors that I choose, was a big step into having me work on this more. So I had the first block already done, and I worked on the second block. I did a little bit of personalization in here in the tombstone, and I wanted to share this too. Whenever I have to change something or make some personalizations, I use this book from Amanda May at Art Design. It's her Halloween Sketch and Stitch, and it's got graph paper in it. And I think she's got some other books like this with different covers if Halloween's not your thing, but I love this book, and I use it often. I keep this project in my Janet Jabber bag, which I love. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count old brown linen from Extra Design. And like I said, I'm picking my own colors, so like these are a bunch of them that I used in this block, and some carried over from the first block. The black I'm using is Black Coral by Dinky Dyes, my very favorite black. Here's a big old mess up. And here's where I am. So hopefully that's in frame. As you can see, I finished the second block. I did change the dates, and I struggled with this. I didn't know if I should just stitch it as it was, or if I should change it to something that was like relevant to me, and I ultimately decided to do that. So my mom passed away in 2016 and my dad passed away in 2021. So I put their dates on there. And then at the bottom, there's one more big date. I'm going to change that to 1956 because that's the year they both were born. So that is where we are. It's beautiful. It took me a long time to stitch this too. Like I guess it doesn't look to me like it's that much stitching, but that took me well over a week, maybe 2 weeks to stitch that block. So, and I think this one's got a lot of like big fill-in chunks, so that one might take a little while too. But I'm really happy with how this is turning out. Alright, next up I have a new start. I believe I showed that I had purchased this pattern in my last video. I am part of a Halloween Smalls exchange that Heather, Link is my homeboy, is hosting, and for my partner, the pattern I picked is Ghost Stories by the Witchy Stitcher. I think when I showed this last time, I said that I had bought a couple of patterns from them, but I ran out of black ink, so I couldn't print them, so this isn't the best. But I did get more ink, so I've got them over in my, what came in the mail pile. So it looks like ghosts, surrounded by ghosts. And I'm using some of the called for colors and some of them not. Got some of these and a couple of DMCs and a sulky in there. I'm stitching this on a piece of, I think it's 32 count, called Witch's House, hand-dyed linen by E-Design. Does anybody know about this fabric? I've had this in my stash for a long time, and I think I probably got it off like Stash Unloading or something like that, and I would like to find more of it, even though I feel like it probably doesn't exist out there in the world anymore. But so I don't have a huge start on this. I started this at one of my stitching groups, and then I've only worked on it one time since then, but start nonetheless. So that's where I've gotten to. I might pull this out later today and give it some time. It's not very big. It'll come up to like here, I think. Very cute. Okay. So, I have been participating in D20 Stitches Stitch for Pride 2022. They put out a Google Doc, and every day has a theme and something, like some information and a learning module, and then a stitching prompt that goes with that. So every day you go to that that Google document and you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to learn about today, and you read about it, and then maybe you watch a video, or you read an interview, or you know, you do a little research on your own, and then you stitch after you learn. And so I've been doing that every day, and I have been really enjoying it. I have been learning about things that I didn't know about, or learning about things that I thought that I knew about, or learning more about, you know, all kinds of different stuff. So again, I know I'm not great about linking things. If I can, I will put something down below about it. I've worked on a lot of different projects thanks to this, and I will go through like what the stitching prompt is or was that went with them, not necessarily what the learning prompt was as well. Deep put a lot of work into creating this whole month-long event for us, and I really think that if you're interested, you should go and check it out. Okay, so the first project that I pulled out was something that I worked on for day 1, 2, and 3, which was a whip with your brightest colors, your oldest whip, and a vacation whip. Now, I would not take this whip on vacation with me, absolutely not, but it's stitched on Ada, and I would take an Ada project on vacation. I had to do some stretching to get some of these to work. So that first project is the Desiderata by Lifetime Samplers, and this is definitely my oldest whip. I'm not sure, 2018? Maybe. I don't know. But the last time I had worked on this, I got down to this very bottom section on the first half, and I had been putting in the stem stitch that goes along this border here, and it called for it in like 3 strands, and I hated how it looked, so I just pulled my needle off and put it away, and I hadn't touched it since, and that had been quite some time. So I pulled this out, and I ripped out the section that I didn't like, and I restitched it, and I'm happy to say that now I am officially halfway done with this project. So, make it a little more. There we go. So it was this section right here that had me all screwed up that I didn't like, but I fixed all of that, and then I finished the backstitch words and the little backstitch flowers. I think I had to finish right here and this little bit right there, and so that took me just those 3 nights that I worked on it. So it kind of feels a little silly that it's so long, but it's halfway done. And I was thinking about making this like my summer like lunchtime stitching, because we get a longer lunch break, but I don't know. I'm rethinking that now. I'm not sure, so we'll see. Either way, that got some love. That's officially halfway done. That feels really good. I'm glad that happened. The next thing that I worked on was a new start. I worked on this for day 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Day 4 was something designed by a 2S LGBTQIA+ member. Day 5 was a whip with 2 birds. Day 6 was a whip with flowers. Day 7 was a whip with a powerful phrase. And day 8 was a whip with pride flag colors. I'm paraphrasing kind of all of these prompts, by the way. So the start that I had was Move Forward in Love Pride Sal 2022 by Modern Folk Embroidery. This was like an immediate buy for me. I love this. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I made this rainbow back for it to live in. I'm using the called for DMC, and I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count Sea of Fog by Fortnite Fabrics. And here is my little start. I was hoping the lighting would be good enough that you could really see the fabric, but I don't know. So that's where I got to. Very pretty. I'm looking forward to getting back to this one for sure. Let's see. Next up was another new start. The prompts were a whip with an organic shape and a whip that connects you to an organization or mutual fund in your area. And I chose the Upper Chesapeake Bay Pride organization. So the start that I made was Art Designs Chesapeake Bay Treasures number 4, Tundra Swans, which looks like this. I'm keeping it in this little mousy bag I made. So when I was sewing, I was using up scrap fabric, and I had made full-size project bags out of this, and I had enough to make 2 of these like little ones that kind of fits perfectly in there. And so I made one for my friend and I made one for me, and that lives in there. This was a full kit, so it came with the silk, the fabric, all the finishing supplies are in there. And here's what I got. So not too terribly far, but it's not a bad start. That one big swan's done. Super pretty. I've done her first one too, the blue crab. I love these. Okay. Next was another new start. This was something that for day 10 had something with donuts, coffee, or cafe related. Excuse me. And so, I don't know, if maybe you guys remember a long time ago, 2020 maybe, I got the French Kitchen series by the Inspired Needle. It's the hands-on design and someone, I don't know why I can't think of it. Summer Stitch Works? I hope that's right. Collaboration from a couple years ago. So I had this, I've done one of them. Pear and Rosemary I finished and did that 2 years ago. And so I decided to pull out another one of these. And the one I decided to start was strawberries and mint. Because you could definitely find at least one of those 2 things in a cafe. Again, these are kits. Oh, I made this little bag for it. So I'm using all of the kit materials. The fabric is 32 count French blue, hand dyed by Stephanie, and all of the glosses that came with it. And here's where I got. I think that was a Friday night, maybe. So maybe I gave it a little more than, that's definitely more than an hour of stitching for me. And I think this is the one that comes back out again tonight. So that'll get worked on again. That's pretty. I like that series a lot. Next was another new start. Alright, so for day 12, 13, 16, and 17, I made a new start. Day 12 was a whip that will be a gift. And this is definitely a gift. 13 was someone dressed for a night on the town. 16 was a whip with backstitch. And 17 was my newest whip. So by the time I hit day 17, this was my newest whip. And that is Lady Orchid Moth by Nora Corbett. I am stitching this for my mother-in-law. She lives in Florida and she loves orchids. I'm using all of the called for everything except for the fabric. The fabric, I'm using a piece of 28 count green apple by XG Design. I gave Aaron a couple different options for fabric colors, and this is the one that he chose. And I think this is looking really nice. It's kind of getting blown out there a little bit, but a lot of it. But it's coming along really well. It's fun. That's I don't normally stitch in bright pinks like that, so that's nice. Let's see. So then we're back to something that was already started finally. And this was for day 15, a design by a Black or Latinx stitcher. And I don't have a cover photo of this, so if I can, I'll put one in here. And the pattern that I chose was Lovebirds by Anna of Peruvian Flair on Etsy. Remember I did her cat reflection sampler. Was that in 2020? Time has no meaning anymore. This pattern I am stitching on a piece of 40 count ruby from Color and Cotton. And it's just 2 colors. So I'm using a Silks for You, oops, yellow, and this Planet Fiber Earth silk in Peak 1096. So a purple and a yellow. Got some hanging threads here on this beautiful red 40 count. So the day that I had scheduled to work on this, was it last Wednesday? This past Wednesday, I think. 15th. Yes, that was Wednesday. And I was so tired and so cranky and so peopled out. And I put in like here, and I went across this bird, and then I went down, and I put the little wing in, I went back, and I went up, and I realized that I was off by one thread. And I got so upset that I put it down, and I went and laid in bed and crocheted the rest of the night. So actually what I did was yesterday, when I got home, I knew that if I had left that in there, who knows if I would ever pick this up again. So when I got home yesterday, I ripped it out and put it back in and finished the whole bird and started a little bit up here on this one as well. So nice to see some forward momentum on that, and I believe that this one will come out one more time at least. Alright, so I've got one more to show for the Stitch for Pride, and that was for day 14 day 18. Day 14 was a whip with a quilt theme, and day 18 was a movie written or directed by a member of the community, and I chose Robert Wise's 1963 movie The Haunting, which is one of my all-time favorites. And for that, I pulled out this whip, which is Raven Bewitched by Blackbird Design. I have not worked on this one in a long while either, so it felt good to get this out. This lives in a beautiful Diana bag. I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count Bramble by Picture This Plus, using all of the called for colors. Very nice. I think this one comes back out one more time too. And here's where I'm at. And I think it's lovely. I finished the word Bewitched, and I've added 2 more stars. I can hear Aaron down in the kitchen. I'm not sure if you can hear him too. I think it sounds like he's making ramen. Alright guys, one more whip to show you. And that is what my latest focus piece is. I have pulled out mini Quaker samplings with my needle. I have already finished this one, and so I've been working on this one down here. And past Megan definitely screwed that up and just left it, just like pulled her needle off and left it. So current Megan had to figure that out, and it's working through it. I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count, another extra design fabric. I feel like it's, I don't have the tag for it, and I feel like it's something coffee, but I don't remember for sure. And I'm using this hand-dyed fiber silk in Mystery 101. Beautiful blue. And here's where I'm at. So I was working along here, and I got over here, and I was like, oh no, this is bad. So I went up here. And I'm almost across. I've got one more. I started on the last motif on this row here, and I started the alphabet up here, and then I believe, yes, there's one more little row down there. That's the one I've already finished. That's what I'm working on. Okay, so that felt like a lot. I don't know, other than like at a whip parade, if I've ever showed that many projects at once. Okay, so thank you all for sticking with me. Hopefully you did. Alright, up next I want to do my giveaway winner. If you remember, I made these 2 project bags. One had a teal interior and one had a red interior, and I asked you to use one of those in your comment to let me know which one you would like if you won. And the winner is Allison Caron, Caron. You won and you picked the red bag, so this one will be for you. I hope you found some of that mousy fabric. It was so cute. So I will comment on your comment, and I will put my email address below, and if you can reach out to me and give me your email, I will happily get all of these goodies on its way to you. Also, because I made 2 bags, I had to also pick somebody to win the teal. It couldn't just be obviously languishing here. So I pulled another name for the teal, and that's Maggie with an I. So Maggie, you won this one. Maggie's a fellow Maryland Stitcher as well. So this one will be going to you, and I just need you to send me your address, and I'll get it in the mail. Yay! That was super fun. I loved everybody's comments. Sorry, there was a needle on the floor. Okay. So that's all the business. What we have left is what came in the mail. I've got a little bit of Stitchy Kindness and a little bit of Save the Stitches and a little bit of everything else. So I think we'll start with the Stitchy Kindness. When I was participating in Dee and Kari's Spring Fling Retreat, I won a little giveaway on there, and that came in the mail with this beautiful card. It's like the handmade paper. It feels really nice. And so from them, I won this beautiful skein of Gloriana in Lara's Garden. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I can't wait to find something to use that with. I also won a giveaway from Arlene Cohen, Works by ABC. And I got to pick a pattern of hers. And the pattern that I chose was Rosebud Lace. I love her lace designs. I think they're all so pretty. That was really, really, really nice. I'm sorry if you can hear Bud Kitty. He's meowing at the door. One of the lovely ladies in my stitching group, Mickey, she let me have her copy of Mermaid Factor by Plum Street. She had stitched it, and I believe she had customized it with like her and her daughter's initials maybe. But she stitched it and passed it on to me, and it's really, really beautiful. I like that a lot. That would look really nice up on the Chesapeake Bay wall for sure. And then Hannah had brought to one of the stitchy groups her like bin of things she wasn't going to use, and I pulled out a crochet kit that I gave to my son's girlfriend, and I also got some 18 count Aida from her. And then yesterday Heather had brought some Aida she wasn't going to use, so I got a big old chunk of black Aida from her. So thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. I got 2 Save the Stitches from eBay. I have a saved search for Sewing Bird. Like, you know those birds that like you clamp, like the antique birds that you could like clamp onto a table that had the pin cushion? Like, I'd really like to find one of those. A lot of them that pop up are out of my price range, but sometimes other interesting things come up. Like, I've gotten a book on how to make like felt birds, and just like some quilt books I've gotten from that search. So every so often different things pop up. And these 2 things did, and I had to get them. And one was this little pin cushion, and it's a little stained, but that's okay. I thought it was so cute. Isn't that adorable? And these are all the pins that came in it, and so yeah, it's stained, a little loved and worn, but that's, I think, how we want all of our things to be, right? Loved and worn one day. And then I also got this little cardinal. And it's got like twist ties as the hanger, but it wasn't very expensive. So cute, 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 cute. My pile is precarious right now, to say the least. Okay, so what came in the mail? These are my monthly things that came. These are my Silks for You. These are the May 2022 colors. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. My Fortnite fabric of the month came. I get a 36 count linen every month, and this is the color Darling. I think, I won't know until I watch it back, but I think this is getting pretty blown out. The color is like a very soft, pretty pale green with this blue. And then my color and cotton, this is the June fabric of the month in Papyrus. I'm in the neutral club. That's very nice, very neutral, very pretty. My bird club of the month came from Lindy Stitches, and this month was the Western Meadowlark. Oops. Just like this. There's the bird. There's the bird. Cute. Cute, cute. I'm dropping things. Let's see here. From Uncanny Kari, I got Goodnight's Kiss. That's a super cute pattern. The other things that I got from the Witchy Stitcher that I was finally able to print out was her Gothic Snowflakes. So those are my kind of Christmas ornaments. Sam from Trick or Treat, which I don't know if it still is. Trick or Treat was Quentin's favorite movie for a long time. I even, I think the last time I went trick or treating, I made him a Sam costume, and if I can, I'll put in a picture. I'm not sure if he'll want me to do that, but if I can, I will. Trick or Treat, and then I also got Guardian of the Woods Leshy, which looks super cool. I placed 2 orders with 123 Stitch. The first time was because they were having a sale on Birds with Feather charts. I got the Bitter Flower sampler. It says, the bee sucks honey out of the bitterest flower. And then I got these 4 that I had been looking at for a long time. I don't know what they called this, but this is spring, winter, summer, and fall. And I've always really liked these. I had no idea how big these were. They are 293 by 383. They're huge. But maybe if I finish my last snow person this year, next year I'll start one of these for each of the seasons. I will not finish them for each of the seasons, but I can start. So I got those in one order, and then the second time I placed the order, I got some more of the Quakers, the monthly Quakers. I got June, July, and August. Also, I was looking at, was it June? Yeah. June is a little blue cat. I like that. That's really cute. And then I also got the 2022 cross stitch calendar by the Primitive Hare. So lots of goodies in there. I've got last year's right here. And I think between the two, I could probably pick something for each month. I really like a lot of these. Look at that squirrel. Cute. I've gotten in a couple of different orders some of the new Blackbird fabric. I've been buying like the charm packs, but I also had pre-ordered from Kitten Stitcher the pack order bundle. I've got a like a big container of Blackbird fabric that I have collected over the years that I would like to turn into a quilt. I think I've got enough of it now. But I need somebody more quilty than me to help me figure that out, because I kind of, that's a conversation for a different time. We'll get to that. But from another shop called Needle Art on Charts, who I had never ordered from before. I got this on Stash Unload, but then they sent along a card, and they've got like, I guess a little shop, and they do like floss of the month and things like that, but they were offering a little bundle and it came with a charm pack, mini charms. Is that right? This is a charm. I'm like questioning myself. Yes, a charm pack, mini charms, and then an 1/8 of R&R Reproduction in Barb's blend, which got a little wrinkled sitting here overnight, but very pretty. Also from Stash and Loading, I got 2 more project packs because I guess that's just who I am now. I got this one. I really like that fabric. I really, really like that fabric. And this, whoops. And then this one. Cute. I got a piece of 40 count extra design fabric in Marble Bunny. Just very pretty. I got these 2 charts and they came with the linen. This is You and I and Friends. I got the Primitive Sun and the Primitive Moon. And they're not very big. I was shocked at the size of the chart though. The chart is like giant. And they each came with this fabric to go with them. I got, if you remember, I think last time I was talking about my love of my ruler at work, and I found that Quaker ruler pattern by Milady's Needle. Well, I saw this one come up as well, and it's My Little Strawberries ruler pocket, and it came with the ruler. I've had to stop myself from buying other ruler patterns because I don't. You guys understand. I got that from Twisted Threads, Fly Away Home. And by Homespun Elegance, Pumpkins Aplenty. That is a pumpkin snowman smoking a pipe. So that's pretty good. I also got from The Good Housewife, Ivy Wed, a wedding sampler. And lastly, I got just a plain piece of white 40 count linen. It's pretty stiff. I sometimes prefer a stiffer linen. I think sometimes, especially on like a 40 count, it's a little easier for me to stitch with. So, it's almost an hour long. Wow. Okay. I think that's everything, my friends. Thank you all for spending some time with me today. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope the weather is nice where you are. And that you're all just taking really good care of yourselves. I guess until next time, love you all. Bye.